Well, I'm Dennis Mansfield, and I am an author. I have the opportunity to be involved in writing and have done so for years on different levels. I've become an accidental author in a sense by virtue of the fact that one of the large international publishers has agreed to take a book and move it all across the world. Well, that's a very weighty thing to see, a global movement rather than the local or regional movements that I've had for white papers and other things that I've done over the last 30 years. Now it's a different world, and now it's a different time. I went to Tupton Comerford's business and said, I need help. I need help because the things that worked in the past are not working now. Maybe a little bit, but they're not working like I need them to work in the future. Tupton was unbelievable to me. We sat down, we developed a relationship before we ever developed a business relationship. Meaning, he came to me, he walked in the door and he cared for what my wife, my son, myself, what our lives were. You know how rare that is in business? It's very rare. Talk about social media. It's social, responsible media. And that's the thing that I really walked away with. Now, I come to this and I say, I'm in my late 50s. I'm involved in reaching out all over the world to touch people's lives. And I'm doing it all through social media. The only reason, I believe, that I'm having the contact and the outreach that I'm having now and will have in the future is because of the work of Tupton's company. I made a decision to launch my social media campaign a year before the actual book would be in the stores all across the different nations, because I wanted to ramp up with relationships in a way that people could see, could easily come, be a part of my blog, my post, my Facebook, be a part of my Twitter family, because I do view it as a family. I want to know about their lives, they want to know about mine. And because of that interaction, it's been tremendous. Well, you do that for a year or a year plus, and all of a sudden you find out that people want to know about you and therefore want to know about what your product is. To simply go on and say, oh, I've got a book, out of context, out of relationship, you might as well stand on the street corner with a lemonade stand, because it's going to be about that effective. One of the things that I most like about what Tupton's company has helped me with is to heighten the level of involvement with the people that I have engagement with on Twitter. For example, I'm having people join me like crazy. I mean, I walk around and I think what used to be friends who I've had a long time relationship, texting me or tweeting me, I'm having people join 15, 20 an hour. I get buzzed. My staff will look at me and they'll say, you're getting another text. I know. And it's more and more people joining, following me, because I've reached out to follow them first. And that is the key to what I believe Tupton's company has helped me see. But, people really don't care how much I know. They really don't, until they know how much I care. And I think that's the relationship side of the social relationship and responsibility that we have to do. As a result of that, I'm engaged on a regular basis. How are you doing? How did that go? What was up with this? Hey, thank you for that. Can I post that on my personal blog? I've had nothing but new friendships and great success. And it sounds overblown. I know it does. I know. Guess what? This is a new world, a new economy. This is a new opportunity. And for businessmen and women who want to take their product and here's another one, right as we're speaking, they're now following me. I mean, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. That tastes good. So I'm really thankful for it. I'm greatly engaged in their lives. They're greatly engaged in mine. And there's something comforting about it. It's taking the globe, moving it into the marketplace of ideas in your own small sphere of influence. And then realizing you again moves out to have a global influence based on what you're doing. I can't wait for the launching of my first book, March 1st of 2013. And guess what? I've got at least 7 more in the queue to be written. And guess who I'm going to be using to make sure that we get that out? Tupton Comerford. His company is phenomenal. One of the things about the background that I come from is that I've written for 30 years. I've been involved in politics. I've helped elect men and women to office. I've been chiefs of staff to different people. I've owned businesses. I've had an extraordinary life that's opened up the doors always with the threshold being relationship. Just a couple of years ago, we found a candidate that was a minority candidate in a very white state. And we used social media in order to let his ideas break through the barriers that might be there in traditional political races. When that was done, he not only won the primary with a 14-to-1 disadvantage of budget, but he went on to defeat an incumbent and become a United States congressman. Well, my son Colin and I saw the value at that point of reaching out. Colin has a coffee post. He's involved in his university. I'm involved in business. We're in contact with each other all the time. Until we connected with Tubes and Comerford's company, we didn't realize how what we were doing as a avocation could actually be helpful with a vocation, and that it could generate money. And because it generates money, it becomes a very marketable thing for us, for Tubden's company, and I believe for the smart person who is watching this video and makes a decision. I need to do that, because guess what? They need to do it.